Day ahead of, on Friday ahead of the Champions League final. I'm sure nobody will have won that, because I bet if there was anybody that would have imagined that it was going to be a 5-star performance for PSG at the Allianz Arena against 2 times or 3 times winner of the Champions League, 1964, 1965 and 2010, and that was the last time Inter Milan actually won the Champions League. Remember the famous treble winning title under Jose Mourinho ahead of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. And of course it's the second time getting to the finals for PSG, and this time around it looks like the investment, the risk of the Saudi millionaires or billionaires this time around has paid off. Now, for the first time in the history, PSG and actually won the UEFA Champions League after defeating Inter Milan by 5-0 in the finals on Saturday. Well, they said that the Allianz Arena is always a breeding ground for first-timers. 5 times the final have been played at the Bayern Munich Stadium, and 5 times the Champions League have had new winners. We'll talk about all of that on the show today. Of course, over the weekend also there was the Spanish Grand Prix, and guess what? It is McLaren yet again, and they keep building their space and the championship point, and of course the constructors point as well. We'll also talk about a few other things. We'll talk about the recently concluded Gateway Games 2025, well 2024 but held in 2025. I'm talking about the Ogun State National Sport Festival attacked the Gateway Games, the unfortunate incident that happened to some of the athletes, Kano athletes returning back to base after having a successful campaign in Ogun State, and unfortunately just about 50 kilometers away from the city center their bus somersaulted and led to the death of about 22 athletes, journalists, pressmen, coaches. It was just really bad. But we look at the other side of it, how all of the governors and all of them are now donating monies to the families, and you've wondered, what if all of these athletes were flown into Lagos and flown back to Kano rather than all of these monies that are now being donated to their family members? We'll talk about all of that on the show today as well. Like we said, there's so much looking to transfer stories are building up. Manchester United have unveiled their first signing of the season. Liverpool seems to be close to their second signing of the season as well. For Barcelona, I feel like they feel so bitter with the Champions League team of the season. Perhaps we'll have maybe a Ballon d'Or elect, or let me say Ballon d'Or winner elect in Ousmane Dembele. We'll talk about all of that on the show today. But Tommy, what a weekend it was. So many sporting activities to look out for. The Roland Garros is also going on strong, and as it is, Novak Djokovic seems to be on course to win the all-elusive 24 Grand Slam titles that he's caught on the show today. But Tommy, it's a Monday. Mondays are always super loaded. How did your weekend go? Talk to me about that first.
My weekend, of course, started with the children's party on Saturday, Mainland FM Student Party. What a sight! The opportunity has also give back to the community. A lot of people, attended the event. A lot of I think I also met with about 2 or 3 of our listeners that had my name. Someone called me and the person was like, "Oh, yeah, but something and stuff." And
you're famous.
No.
In a household name now.
No, not famous.
You're popular now.
But after that as well, Saturday we saw the UEFA Champions League game between PSG as well as Wolverhampton. Oh, sorry.
It felt like Wolverhampton actually. So no, don't be sorry. It felt like Wolverhampton.
It felt like Wolves.
It felt like Wolves.
It felt like it was Wolves playing not Inter Milan, especially with their yellow jersey. I really wonder, or I'm trying as much as possible.
Who brought up the idea of that yellow jersey?
To know the person that brought up that decision for them to wear the yellow jersey.
I don't know about that. There's always something about colors and just remember the all white and all green jersey for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We played 6 games in that particular jersey and we've not won anyone.
Exactly. And apart from that, I think over the weekend we had the Spanish Grand Prix. Just like you said,
fantastic race, start to finish.
I'm trying to wonder what McLaren have done this season with their cars.
I don't know. I guess we saw it coming towards the end of last season when they won the constructors
table, and a lot of activities also happened. Fernando Alonso, unfortunately, went off the road. He was allowed to return. He also got 2 points. He also had
Max Verstappen as well, Kim Antonelli,
and at the end, guess who raised the checkered flag? It was Robert Lewandowski.
The checkered
flag. And obviously, over the weekend, we also had a new CAF Champions League winner at the Pyramids at the Champions League for the very first time. And what was also...
I think they are less than 10 years old. And they won the Champions
League. And a lot of people were quite surprised that, you know, they have 2 legs. So the CAF Champions League, you have to play over 2 legs. I mean, the first leg... the first leg of the final ended in a 1-0. And the second leg of the final, which was, you know, on this Saturday? On Sunday, yeah. That was yesterday.
And then the 2-1 victory for
Pyramids, exactly. What a wonderful sight.
Against Mamelodi Sundowns. There's a lot of credit that needs to go to Mamelodi Sundowns. By the way, it's the club owned by the CAF president, Ałyตู๊ Motsepe. But then you also need to look at their development. I can tell you for a fact that their growth and their wins on the continent has nothing to do with the ownership of the club. Exactly. It's just a coincidence, right? I'm just talking about maybe Felix Ayase, you know, being the CAF president and Enyimba is playing on the continent. Exactly. It's as simple as that. But Mamelodi Sundowns have witnessed some tremendous level of growth in the last 10 years. They made it to the Champions League three times. They won twice. They won the Confederations Cup as well. Even the South African League as well, the PSL. Yeah. So I think it's and it's not just the male team, even the female.
Even the female team are also doing their wonders.
Youth teams as well. That's just so organized. They've got solid stadium. They've got heavy fan base, and they've got coordination. They have foreign players from Brazil, players from Egypt, players from Ivory Coast. All of them well taken care of.
It is typical of you know, South African clubs, maybe not even South African clubs, but maybe clubs as well in the South, you know, for them to take football as well as sports serious, unlike what we are used to seeing as well here in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of things, you know, a lot of bad things are also going wrong as it stands. You know, on Saturday as well, you talked about how over now confirmed 22 athletes have unfortunately lost their lives, you know, on their way back home from National Sports Festival. And I just saw the news as well this morning that the governor of the state decided to maybe in a form of compensation award them the sum of 1 million naira just for compensation. And I was also the question now begins to wonder about, saying that do their lives really worth 1 million naira?
It doesn't.
Unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. After presenting your state at National Sports Festival, and then your family is being compensated due to the fact that you lose your life with the sum of 1 million naira. Personally, it's a wall for the athletes, because a lot of people feel like, even after I also get to represent Nigeria, or I get to represent my state in a national sports festival, in the event that I lose my life, what would be the gain?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's the sad reality. I'm probably going to go on some ranting spree right now for a couple of minutes, and this is it. So a couple of years back, I have a friend of mine that used to is into some of these like humanitarian stuff. Okay. So he buys soccer boots, and you see, the truth is this: the best gift you can give to an amateur footballer is a soccer boot. He played semi-pro in Egypt, and he had a bad injury. That means that he can't continue. So, you know, he had to retire, but he still has his connect, you know. So he was always getting those soccer boots, and then he gives them out. Would always go to grassroots football clubs in Korodu, in Ado. Would always travel around to donate. And for every of those donations, Abatomi, yes, we give all of those pep talks and then we'll go over them, but every of those donations, deep within my mind, I know for one that there's no future for those ones. Now, I mean, if you listen to this show over and over again, they understand I'm literally one of the most optimistic people alive here. But because you've seen the system that has crushed the dreams of millions of people.
Of Nigerians.
So it is one out of few. How old is Desiree Doe of PSG?
He's just 19.
19. He has won the Champions League. In Nigeria, as a 19-year-old, you are still looking for academy that will take you in.
Take you in, exactly.
Fact.
You are still playing on
you are still playing. You are an amateur at 19.
At 19.
Except on very rare cases.
Okay, I mean,
when you have those standout talents.
Some footballers at 25 are still amateurs.
They are still playing academy football. They are still playing under 20. They are still playing grassroots football competitions everywhere at 25. So tell me how you want to get to the big stage, whether you like it or not. Global football is getting crazier now. Nobody signs a 25-year-old to come and acclimatize. If you are signing a 25, you have to be maybe Kylian Mbappe.
Exactly.
Or you're already a Vinicius Junior somewhere. So you're already a proven quality. You are coming in to hit the ground running. I'm not going to sign a 25-year-old and teach you in the academy and expect you to get used to this system. Where somebody like what's his name now?
Who's that?
What's his Arsenal guy? these two young boys that are
Ḽɪsᴜ
Sᴘᴜᴜ and Ṅwaneri. They are 19-year-olds already playing Champions League football and playing first-grade football. How old are Messi when he won his first World Footballer of the Year in 2006? How old is Cristiano Ronaldo? How long have they dominated? So the World Football. How old is Lamine Yamal? He's already won the Euros. He's already been nominated for Ballon d'Or at this age. So World Football had moved away from I'm 25, I'm still looking for a club. But when you go to these grassroots competitions, I've seen a lot. Hundreds of them.
But agents,
how many of them
get to just take about one or two?
How many of them actually get top flights? I'm not talking of taking them to
Cyprus,
go play in Cyprus or play in Malta, Division 3 team in India, where they just get like £2,000 per month, and they're just there. They're working in bakery during the week. They play football weekend. See, you need to listen to some of the stories of Nigerian football talent that have gone missing. They can't even come back home. So each time you listen to this thing, then you ask yourself, what is the value of representing this country? What is the value? Every single season, Agbatomi, for Nigerian Premier Football League, we're always hearing a case of either an accident or an accident.
And the manager lost
every single season, and the manager of the side lost his life. Every single season, we don't even understand what sports does to us in this country. Last week Friday, we're having a conversation about how we can bring business and monetize sports in Nigeria. And we're just playing face value competition. We're just being mischievous with the talent and the future of people. Do you know what it means for you to get a player certificate transfer in this country? Do you know how much you would pay in this country? The standard is very clear. Before you can be allowed to play in the NPFL, you must have academies. You must have an academy. You must have feeders team. That's why we have the Nigerian League, the
National League,
NNO. No. I'm even talking about the La Liga under 17, under 15, and all of that. You will see club sides going to rent academies, players from the academies to represent them in just. Plateau State was using Miss Palace Football Academy as their own academy. So it's a whole lot of problem. But the unfortunate thing is this: we know these problems.
We know.
You and I are not football administrators. We're just here doing our job. The administrators know this problem. If we can know this much about this problem, then imagine how much the administrators will know about. So each time I give out those soccer boots, deep within my mind, I'm just feeling like, God, I don't want to meet this person again, but I want to hear that, this guy was the guy I met in Kaduna 10 years ago, and he's getting things done in Holland, in Germany, at top flight football. But how many of these guys actually come? How many of these guys come through from the street to the national team of the Super Eagles? We are going to UK, we are going to US to beg people to play for Nigeria.
Before you even talk about going from the street to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, now, how many of the players in the last 10 years have progressed from the under 17
to the under 20, to the dream team under 23, to the Super Eagles? I think the last person that had such steady progress was Ǩelechi Iheanacho. And Victor Osimhen.
Even Victor Osimhen was from under 17 to the Super Eagles.
Straight to the Super Eagles. He didn't play for under 20. It was only Ǩelechi Iheanacho that went through one under 17, played under 20. So how many? We have ready-made guys. Yes. There was a time in Nigeria where we had the Oyinbo War, where we had players that had
Leon Balogun as well as
Sᴘᴏʀᴛ. We had almost zero influence in Nigeria. Did Alex Iwobi ever play in Nigeria? Did Demola Lookman ever play in Nigeria? Did these guys ever play in Nigeria? Did they ever come to Nigeria? No.
Even the former goalkeeper, the Super Eagles goalkeeper, Aḻɪ Ďābṣo didn't also play for Nigeria.
Nobody is saying we shouldn't get the best to come play for us. But you know for one that there are boys that are putting sweat and blood on the line every single day to get that singular opportunity. But they would never get it. Agents are mischievous, they're offering slave contracts. Football administrators are just making money. They're
club owners as well.
Everybody is just in a mess. So why would a state governor not pack athletes to come from Kano to Lagos? Then when they won gold medals, silver medals, bronze medals, they've made the state proud. They are now going back very close to the city. They had an accident.
They were already in Kano.
50 kilometers away from the city center. I know Kano very well. See, if you come into Kano from Bauchi Gombe axis, if you get to Tūnowada to Kano municipal self, it's like 4 hours.
Crazy.
So you can still be in Kano and not be in Kano.
Oh my God.
Fact. Tūnowada local government is the first local government. If you are coming in from Bauchi, since you made your state proud, made you happy, they are now going back
by road.
They now died.
Is it not in this country? Is it not in this country that para athletes were also involved in an accident.
Para soccer. The national team para soccer. They were going to Abuja to apply for their visa. People that already physically challenged. They see an accident again. Why should that even happen? Why should they even be on that road? Can't you have a special provision for them?
Okay, I mean, how will it even happen when we as a country don't have a national carrier?
It's a mess.
It's impossible.
It's a whole lot of mess. So now these ones died. 22 of them. Yeah. Not even athletes alone. No. Journalists, medical staff, coaches, all of them died in that unfortunate.
So, okay, do you know the funniest thing is if we were to have a national carrier now, it would have been the best case scenario,
bro.
For the national carrier, okay, you are going to the northern part of Nigeria, bro. For those going to the north, all of you together,
state government,
yes.
Oh yeah, per flight.
How much is it?
Per flight by athlete is 200,000. But because we are supporting you as national carrier, pay 150 for each athlete. You know very well that
you are going back to south. A national carrier.
You know very well that the national sport festival is from 16th of May to 20-something of May.
30th.
Book ahead
of time.
Even if you don't have national carrier, there's Ibom Air.
Yes, there are other airlines.
There are a lot of Kano State has the highest number of privately owned airlines in Nigeria.
Imagine.
There is Asma Air. There is this one Air. There is this one Air. The Sani Abacha Stadium, the Aminu Kano Airport in Kano is the biggest. So tell me how the state government could not secure flights to bring the athletes to Lagos and take them back. Now they died.
Yeah, and you're not
giving them 1 million each. Tell me what 1 million would do for their families.
Can you replace their lives? It can't.
If you had used quarter of that 1 million to book flight for them, they will not be in this situation.
Exactly. Why is it that we are all after? We can't seem to get things.
We are just a people configured to make a system not function. Okay, I mean, it's as simple as that.
It's so unfortunate.
It's as simple as that.
You know, when you told me about that story on Saturday, I just sat down.
We were having the children's party here, and then I just saw it.
Didn't stop. You told me. I was like,
I was in a costume. I was in a Spider-Man costume, and I'm not going to lie to you, yeah. It messed up my day.
Yeah, it did.
It absolutely messed because it was an avoidable death.
It was totally
22 people. 22 people. We're not talking of 22 cows. We're not talking of 22 chickens.
Or goats.
22 human beings just perished like that because of the emptiness of state government to do the right thing.
And the reason for also losing their lives because they represented a state.
So out of nowhere, is the maybe 10 million you'll have used or 5 million to secure their flight to and fro. You now have 22 million to give to their families.
Imagine.
Why do we take pleasure in paying condolence visits?
And most of the families won't even get the pledge.
Why do we take pleasure in conducting mass burial? Why do we take pleasure in sending condolence and mourning people? Now governors are going to visit. They've turned it to a jamboree again.
Jamboree, exactly. It's
something that we could avoid.
Totally unavoidable.
You will see a Southwest club going to Gombe to play. They'll spend 3 days on the road.
For example, if Ikorodu City is to travel to Kano State, and they have to play Kano players on Saturday, they have to travel from Monday.
On Tuesday, they would leave.
Yes.
Plateau United is coming to Lagos to play Ikorodu City on Sunday. They will leave just on Wednesday afternoon.
Yes. And they'll get to Lagos maybe around Friday, and you expect them to win.
The roads are bad.
Yes,
the roads are not safe.
They'll park them like sardines.
They'll park them inside one coastal bus. And then the coastal bus will damage on the road. Then you keep the players, the professional players, till they either fix it or then you bring in a backup bus.
Facing risk of harm.
That risk, my friend.
No.
It's a mess. I felt so bad reading that news. And when I started seeing the pictures, and I'm like, how do we allow ourselves to voluntarily just waste talent in this country?
It was a gory sight.
It is one thing for those people to come to camp and come and even suffer. There's no guarantee that they've even paid them their camp allowances. Maybe the Ogun State athletes locked the athletes village at Babcock University. They locked it because they didn't pay them.
Because they were not paid.
The same governor that promised to pay 2.5 million per gold medal. You cannot pay basic camp allowance. You can't pay. They are promising 2.5 million per medal.
And they had well over 66 gold medals. No, 44.
They had almost 200 medals in total for Ogun State.
For gold medals, they are going to be paying over 110
So let me see you, Dr. Abiodun, don't pay these people. They will come back on this place. We have praised you. We have praised you for having a relatively successful games by the standard of where we are coming from. I've witnessed a lot of national sport festivals.
Some national give me a promise that some good sense.
Some national sport festivals they barely even finish like games they come along. But we had a decent one in Ogun State here because it came with a lot of commitment. But please, any promise you made to these athletes,
please let them be fulfilled.
Please. So
thank God the chairman, the Director General of the National Sports Commission was also the former Commissioner of Sport and
in the state.
In the state as well.
He's a sound guy. Olakpade is a good guy. He's someone I've had session with. But the truth is this. Beyond being a good administrator, keep to promise. Don't let the athletes start carrying placards. Don't let them start sending messages to us that they don't, because a lot of them are listening right now.
Exactly.
Don't let them start sending. Because if they send the message, I will conceal their names and I'll read the messages.
Yes,
trust us here.
Of course not.
We will read the messages. I will call you out. So if we praise you for hosting a relatively successful game, then fulfill all of your promises. Whether as Lagos State Governor, Ogun State Governor, Osun State Governor, anywhere. Fulfill all of your promises. Do you know I feel more pain about Kano? Kano is one of the richest states in this country. They can afford to fly those states. There are businessmen in Kano that have private jets. There are Kano businessmen that are airline operators in this country. What will cause the Kano State Governor to say, Oga, come.
Let's pass.
You are doing a lot of philanthropy jobs here. We have our athletes that are going to Ogun State. Fly them to Lagos. We arrange coaster to take them from Lagos to Ogun State. And please, by so date, they'll be coming back. Help us.
As well.
Okay, you know what? We cannot pay the entire money. Give us discount. You do that. It's as simple as that.
But no.
In fact, you don't have a national carrier, which is a disgrace on its own, to the largest, most populated black country in the world, the largest democracy in Africa. We don't have a national carrier. So the Super Eagles are pissed off. I'm really pissed off because we can avoid all of these things and keep people alive. Those athletes will have still be alive if they had flown down to Kano. Even if they die of plane crash, you will know that they tried.
Know that they tried, exactly.
In this same country, students finish school, they were going home. You put them in school bus. When they had accident, you want to use planes to carry their dead bodies.
And
in this same country.
And the plane still did what? The plane
still crash. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back very soon.
Hello there, your number one sports show on radio, Sports Cruise, from 6 to 7 p.m. every weekday, only on 98.3 Mainland FM. Sports Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3 Mainland FM. The cruise never stops.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason, take me higher.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
Welcome back to Sport Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. Well, we all know apology for that first session of the show. We needed to speak to the people, and I hope they get to listen to us. You cannot continue to waste the life. Daddy gave them 22 million. That means 1 million for the value of each life. It's crazy, right? I think we can actually get things done and get things better. Wow. Let's go to about a system that is functional. Maybe it's too early to call an era defining in the way that Real Madrid's 7-3 win in 1960, but no team, not one, has ever won won the trophy by scoring 5-0 in the final. It is an extraordinary way for PSG to win the Champions League for the first time in their history, and of course, it should mark the end of a journey. But for Luis Enrique's young team, their 5-0 victory over Inter Milan makes it feel like the beginning of something special. So humiliated were Inter that they wanted the whistle when the third went in. Surely one of the great goals in the Champions League final history, finished by Désiré Doué. The referee obliged by sparing them stoppage time. PSG's point-long serve was actually proven. By the way, that game had not a single extra time. Yeah. On the dot of 90 minutes, referee said,
the ref had seen enough. Just like what I said at the beginning of the show, it felt like it was Wolverhampton playing, not Inter Milan. Unfortunately, Inter Milan didn't know what hit them in that particular game. It just felt like what they just wanted to do was just come, have their fun, and be on the pitch as well with the PSG players on the day of the UEFA Champions League final. And unfortunately, for Inter Milan, from start to finish, I felt they were clueless. I felt like I didn't come with a game plan. But most importantly, what I would say I'm perhaps impressed with was PSG's manner of press. From the blast of the whistle, we had what's his name now, Désiré Doué, we had Ousmane Dembélé, we also had Kvaratskhelia as well, also pressing the three midfielders as well. The Spanish Fabian Ruiz, we also had João Neves as well, Vitinha. The way the three of them controlled the midfield from start to finish, at the point it felt like a training session.
Would you have thoughts in specifics now?
Yeah.
Even if you have thought there was going to be a PSG win, because if you look at their form in 2025, I think they're the best team in Europe in 2025. They've scored the highest number of goals. They've won the highest number of. They've had the highest number of wins in games
as well.
And they've also won the French Ligue 1 with how many games to spare?
With 3 games.
3 games?
Yeah, 3 games to split.
Exactly. So I think they already had the Champions League cooked for them. I think the moment they defeated Liverpool, they defeated Aston Villa, defeated Arsenal, they knocked out the 3 English sides in quick succession, different rounds.
Yeah.
You kind of had the feeling that there was something special cooking with this guy. But did you ever imagine that it was going to be a 5-0 victory? I think after the Porto-Monaco final of Jose Mourinho, I think this should be like the most one-sided final I've ever seen. Yeah, exactly.
I think I've seen another one, Sha. Maybe that was Liverpool versus Tottenham 2019. Because Tottenham, it just felt like, you know what, we've made it to our first Champions League final.
Okay. Let's just give us the second. Well,
I could never have thought that game was going to go that way. 5-0. The first goal obviously was scored by former Inter Milan player in person of Al'acób Hakimi, and then the fact that I decided not to celebrate. What
was Hakimi doing at that place? As a defender.
We've seen those goals.
What was he doing in that?
He scored that same kind of goal against was that against Arsenal? I think he scored against Arsenal, right?
You look at those positions and you're wondering, like, what is a defender doing in the box 6? I mean, Hakimi looks to me like a fox in a box, kind of, like he's always there.
Yeah, he's always there.
He's always there.
The other question also that on a lot of people's mind is, will Al'acób Hakimi be winning the CAF player?
No, it's not a case of who. It's a case of when.
I think he's the favorite.
He's winning it.
Yeah, he is.
He's winning it. This has nothing. Nobody's questioning patriotism here. 4 trophies
season,
and performing
excellently,
performing good enough at those levels.
Maybe the heroics of Victor Osimhen as well perhaps would not match it.
You can't see Victor Osimhen's heroes cannot even match Mohamed Salah. It's like the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup of England.
It's a league
you
trophy.
can't compare the English Premier League, my friend.
It's a league trophy. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
It's a league trophy.
Do you know that there are rankings to this thing?
I know, but
do you know that Victor Gyökeres 50 something goals does not even account half?
Galatasaray are the champions of hockey, yes or no? Liverpool are the champions of England, yes or no? Real Stars are the champions of the NPFL, yes or no? Yes, they are the champions of their league. Champions of their country.
Agbatomi.
Yes.
Your plane will not crash. Say amen.
Amen.
Good. Your boss will not have accidents.
Amen.
But in your heart of hearts.
Yeah.
In your heart of hearts. Are you comparing the Turkish league to the Premier League?
No, I'm not comparing. But don't let us underrate or underestimate what Victor Osimhen has done.
I would never.
Yes.
Listen
it
to
looks
me.
like you are.
I would never in any way or capacity.
So why
underrate anything Nigeria?
We are trying to compare the English Premier League with the Turkish
Super
Super
League.
League.
Context. The Turkish League is not even in the top 10 leagues in the world.
It is a league.
My man.
It is a league.
Let me give it to you.
He won the Turkish Cup as well.
The English Premier League.
Goals.
Listen, my friend. The English Premier League and the Spanish League. The competition for who is the best is between those two.
Yes.
But let's say the English Premier League, the Spanish League, the Serie A, German Bundesliga,
yes,
the French League on, the Dutch League,
yeah, Portuguese League,
the Portuguese League. Thank you very much. The Belgian League, the Russian League, and
Turkish League.
Maybe Turkish League.
I'll say pick the Turkish League over the
Cup or Turkish League.
Nah, it doesn't. You know why? Okay, it seems like you don't understand what I'm trying to talk about. Galatasaray won the Turkish Super League, yes or no? Yes, they did that. They won the Turkish Cup, yes or no? Yes, they did that. But don't let us say that because Mo Salah won the Premier League, don't let us now put aside or sideline what Victor Osimhen has done. The fact that the English Premier League outweighs the Turkish Super League
last person,
does not say or does not mean
I'm the last person
or does not mean Victor Osimhen has overachieved.
I'm the last person you would ever set up for a drag. So this is it.
Okay.
When Victor Osimhen won the first league title with Napoli in 33 years, we knew it was Victor Osimhen and Achraf Hakimi, and we knew where that was going to. Osimhen or nothing. He won it. Demola Lookman got to the final of the Europa League, won the Europa League, and he scored hat-trick in the final. We knew it was Demola Lookman or nobody else. We didn't care where the event was held, whether in Egypt or whatever it was. But this season, you look at Achraf Hakimi. He won the French Cup. He won the French League.
He
won the
Coupe de France as well.
Coupe de France.
The Champions
even
as well.
if he didn't win any of those, he won the Champions League. And he didn't just win the Champions League by he won the Champions League by scoring vital goals, even in the final.
Exactly.
So he stands on one side.
Yes.
Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah got double in goals and assists for his 5th consecutive season. 29 goals in English Premier League.
With one trophy.
With English Premier League.
Yes.
One trophy of the Premier League is like Portuguese League, Turkish League, Russian League, Ukrainian League combined.
Okwemi.
Come on,
see,
man.
Okwemi, you are getting things wrong. The reason I'm saying this is because we should not in any way try to outweigh his success.
Let's leave this conversation.
I'm going somewhere. Now, this changes these things. This changes conversation. The AFCON will change the conversation. The AFCON in December will change the conversation of the CAF Player of the Year. Why?
The World Cup, listen to me.
If Nigeria is to win the what's it called now? If Nigeria is to win the AFCON, with Victor Osimhen also winning 2 trophies with Galatasaray,
Osimhen does not even need to score a goal at the AFCON. Nigeria just need to win AFCON.
Exactly.
That's the end.
That's what I'm saying. See, okay, as a matter of fact, in terms of ranking on who will be the CAF Player of the Year, Achraf Hakimi comes first. For me, Victor Osimhen is second.
You have been sentimental, my friend.
I'm not.
You have been sentimental, my friend. If Achraf Hakimi had not won the Champions League, who was leading on the continent?
Victor Osimhen was.
What?
Yes, Victor Osimhen was with 35 goals.
What?
35 goals, 25 league goals in his debut season.
Mohamed Salah had 29 league goals after 23 assists.
After 1 month,
guys, I would open the phone lines. I will allow you to have your take on that. Maybe 09136000410. How would you rank the top 3 for the CAF Champions League? Looking at how the regular seasons have ended, I think the icing on the cake is going to be the AFCON in December, and I'm excited. This is how we want to go into the AFCON, so that the players, individual players know that I have to help my team to win, but I also have to have an individual performance at the AFCON. So if Achraf Hakimi guides Morocco to winning AFCON, they should give him for the next 2 years. If Mohamed Salah guides Egypt to winning the AFCON, they should give it to Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, that's the CAF Player of the Year.
Maybe it's going to be a bit close, because you want to look at the Champions League, then you want to look at CAF. Yeah, but if Victor Osimhen guides Nigeria to winning the AFCON, I'm a Tatoncibel.
Exactly.
I'm a Tatoncibel. Okay, let's look at the UEFA Champions League team of the season, right? 7 PSG players. In goal, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Donnarumma was man of the match in back-to-back Champions League games. I say well deserved to be here. Nobody comes close. Achraf Hakimi, the wing back for PSG. We've talked about it. Very experienced Marquinhos. I saw him placing the Champions League on a special seat on a private jet where they were living. There's also Bastoni from Inter Milan. Solid defender. No doubt about that.
He was off the game in that game as well.
See, it was tough. It was always going to be tough. I mean, when I looked at the game, I just wondered that maybe Arsenal, with that depleted team they had were just good enough to survive the massacre of PSG. Have you seen the way PSG attack swamps you?
Yes.
There's Désiré coming, Kvaratskhelia is coming, Achraf Hakimi is coming, Ousmane Dembele is coming, Vitinha is holding it down. You don't even know where the attack is coming from.
Talking about the press, talking about PSG's press now. A footage from last year emerged, with Luis Enrique speaking to Mbappé, telling him that, you know what, as a leader, you have to press, you have to be the first person to press because they'll also be looking at you. And that was exactly what happened in the final against Inter Milan. Ousmane Dembele was the first person to press Jan
Did you see that assist for Kvaratskhelia?
For Kvaratskhelia. What a beauty combination. By the way, the last time what is it called now? The last time PSG were in the final of the UEFA Champions, which was back in 2020, William Pacho, remember, was also playing in the feeder team of his hometown team. So this also goes to say that what a massive progress these players have also made.
Dreams come true,
Dreams come true, exactly.
For Nuno Mendes, Ronaldo loves him. He's giving Ronaldo so much assists within the short time. I think he gave Ronaldo for his 900th goal. Talking about Nuno Mendes, and it's been solid for PSG. In the midfield, there's Vitinha from PSG as well. I think the most underrated midfielder in the world right now. Way better than Pedri or Rodri or whatever English you want to speak for those guys. I don't care, man.
Bellingham,
the only English Premier League player to make it into the midfield for the Champions League team of the season had to be Declan Rice. A back-to-back performance against Real Madrid. I think it was good enough. But he also tried for Arsenal. He doesn't deserve it.
No, he doesn't deserve it.
The votes are out for Lamine Yamal.
Okay.
Well, I mean, nobody can argue with this. Lamine Yamal is there for Rafinha as well. So in the attack, we have Désiré Doué, 19-year-old, solid guy, and maybe the Ballon d'Or winner in waiting. Talking about Ousmane Dembele. Well, as it stands right now, we have 7 PSG players, 2 Barcelona players, 1 Inter Milan player, and 1 Arsenal player. Well, Donnarumma, Achraf Hakimi, Marquinhos, Mendes, Dembele, Vitinha, and Doué. But all of those 7 are PSG players. Then 2 from Barcelona, Rafinha and Yamal. And then Inter Milan has Bastoni, and Arsenal has Declan Rice. Ioannis is not there. You think he should have replaced Declan Rice, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I also think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think this is about having English representation. Really,
I think Declan Rice made it into that team because of his 2 goals against Real Madrid.
It's good enough. You can't score 2 goals at that stage against the defending champions of Real Madrid.
It's just a single game.
Just a single game. Liverpool should have won their own game, right? Okay. Well, that's
Liverpool won the trophy. What did Arsenal win?
Absolutely right.
Second position.
You're right. Let's open the phone lines. Let's pick some calls. Where do you rank the top 3 for the CAF Champions League based on the just concluded season? Let's see what your thoughts are. Mr. Joshua, good evening.
Yeah, bro. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Baba.
Yeah. I agree to you.
I agree to especially.
Yeah. That final was not a final. In fact, I really wish there is a way UEFA can delete that particular, the Inter were playing like championship, not even League One-sided game. What for? They were not even playing like real competitors. And as to Declan Rice making the team of the season. That particular 2 goals he scored against Madrid, it's worth some 2 goals in the final, Even while you've not been performing for a while, of course, Rice has never been to injury this last season. He was always in every of all those games, playing almost 90 minutes. In one way or the other, he must have contributed to Arsenal reaching the semi-finals. So, and the spectacular 2 goals, not just ordinary goals, two spectacular
career-ending goals against arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Thank you very much, Mr. Gege Joshua. Well, we just talked about the CAF Champions League for this season. I'm talking about the fact that we have a new winner in Pyramid FC of Egypt. But let's talk to you, Former, real quick before we take the Champions League story. Hello, good evening, Former.
You're
welcome.
You're your own, truly. Yes. Peradventure that Liverpool did not win the trophy. Aᴅᴇᴛᴏ did not win the Champions League or French League. Who do you think that will win the African Footballer of the Year?
If who?
If Hakimi
did not win the French League,
the Champions League, the French League, and Mohamed Salah did not win the Premiership. So African Footballer of the Year, with what ᴍᴜᴜ have done in Turkey, who do you think that will win?
Okay, so I should consider what ᴍᴜᴜ has done in Turkey, but I should not consider what Mohamed Salah and Achraf Hakimi did.
You know, I've said it before.
No, we can't take that out of context. The fact that an African player won the CAF Champions League. The reason why we overwhelmingly gave it to Demola Lookman was because he guided Atalanta to the first Europa League and they won it. Achraf Hakimi also played a major role in guiding PSG to their first ever Champions League and even scored in the final.
Yes, exactly. I've said it before that even Hakimi has been knocking the door to become the African footballer.
Twice right now, twice.
So this time around, don't underrate Turkish league. The way you're calling it, you're on your own. That's why I said that.
Okay, let's see how it goes. 09136000410. But this is not in any way, an attempt to, talk down on ᴍᴜᴜ sources. Come on, guys, you know me so well. You know how Nigerian I can be. And when it comes to issues like, I'm just stating the fact. The Champions League is here, and an African player had won the Champions League, not just as a peripheral player or a super sub, as a starting 11 in a PSG side with so much talent. There's no way you want to take that factor out of Achraf Hakimi. We had Morocco going all the way to the semi-final of the World Cup. It still didn't count in his favor. ᴍᴜᴜ won it. We still saw all of the things he won with PSG last season. Demola Lookman still won it, but this time around, he won 4 trophies. 4 trophies, including the Champions League. His league is bigger than the Turkish league. Let's even say all of the leagues are the same par. The Champions League overrides every one of them, right? Let's talk to Anna. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, how was the weekend?
Well, good. And yours?
Yeah, fine. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Special. I greet you, Special.
Don't let us deceive ourselves. I love those students. We all love those students. But Hakimi has been knocking on the door for the past 4 years. If you understand how the nomination list was been going for the past 4 years, as Hakimi has been in the top 3, top 5. If you start, let us forget Salah or Senior or something. Let this other aside. Thank God that United are not making PSG at the Super Cup as United has won. Because that morning, good morning.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if we can still squeeze in 1 or 2 more calls. We have messages also to read. At 09136000410 is the Monday edition of Sports Cruise live from Milan 19 from 3. We're asking, where exactly do you place these guys in that particular order? There's ᴍᴜᴜ winning the Spanish Cup, winning the Turkish Cup and the Turkish League. There's Mohamed Salah winning the English Premier League with Liverpool, winning the PFA Player of the Season, that's the Football Writers Player of the Season, Players Player of the Season, and of course winning the Premier League.
Those are all individual awards.
Then what is the World Footballer of the Year?
Yeah.
It's an individual award. Olákúnlé, good evening.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
How now?
We did all right, too. Welcome, Alga.
Yeah, I give everybody with you.
I greet you too, boss.
Yeah. I want to first let me come to the African Footballer of the Year. Then you understand that was Saturday. Yeah, my friend would have argued. I told him that Hakimi is so second. And then Victor Osimhen is the second person, which Mohamed Salah is top person. Do you understand? Because Hakimi, hello?
What with you?
Yeah, and because Hakimi participated in the whole World Cup that AG win. So you understand. Fine, good and fine. There's a dollar with I do the Premiership. I am the Premiership point. I may in that Premiership. But you know, in the Turkey league, so for me personally, I would take him as the second person.
Okay.
But
automatically, Achraf Hakimi stands head and shoulder, right? I agree with you also. As some messages, good evening, guys. Inter Milan should thank the referee for blowing the whistle on the dot of 90, saving them from their misery. PSG were still charged to put in the 6th in injury time. PSG are absolute and deserved champion. Thank you very much. Well, Hakimi all the way, runner of Victor Osimhen, and third is going to be Mohamed Salah. Okay, thank you very much. You also said this guy there from Ikotan. You said, "Okay, trophy na trophy, no matter where it is won. For African best is Hakimi without controversy." You and I know that trophy is not trophy.
No, trophy is
trophy. Go and win the Maltese League and come and compare with the English Premier League.
It's a league trophy.
Go and win the Egyptian League and come and compare with the Rwandan League, even on the call. Come and compare with the go and win the PSL, the Premier Soccer League in South Africa. And come and compare with Nigerian Premier League.
As a Nigerian, okay. I rather win the MPFL than win the league.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, this is confidence.
Confidence, good to have you join us on the show today.
Yeah. Let me just go straight to the point.
Please go on.
Number one is Hakimi. Number two is Mohamed Salah. Number three is Victor Osimhen. Goals more than Mbappe.
It's because there are rankings on the goals.
Yes, they said Portugal League per goal is 1.5. Spanish League per goal is 2 points.
It's 2 points.
So, you see that Turkish League? I know
per goal is like maybe 0.7.
Because they did very, very well. Though. You see that Turkish League? They are going for yeah. So even do you know that the Premier League have more high standard than that of the Turkish League?
Are you joking? Maybe the Nigerian League and the Turkish League will be at par safe.
Come on now.
But Jacob Bush says injury almost ruined Dembele's career at Barcelona. They carry paracetamol, they want keep person will get ACL. Congratulations to PSG. Absolutely. I mean, I think this is the Dembele Barcelona went to Borussia Dortmund to sign.
Yeah.
He didn't do well. Maybe when he got married. I don't know. There's always that transition. I mean, when you get married, it's almost like they're well settled and things are picking up gradually. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay, let's really talk about our own. Okay, first off, let's talk about the Spanish Grand Prix. Yes, Oscar Piastri has further strengthened his championship lead by clinching a commanding victory in the Spanish Grand Prix on Sunday. The Australian leading teammate Lando Norris in a McLaren 1-2 amidst a dramatic end to the race that saw Max Verstappen and George Russell also collide. Piastri made an excellent start from pole position, allowing 24-year-old to build an early lead from Verstappen, who had overtaken Norris into turn 1. Norris later retook the position, only for Max Verstappen to leapfrog both McLaren after the fourth pit stop, putting himself into P1. This proved to be the brief. However, as the Dutchman pitted early for his second stop, handing the lead back to Piastri, all of which triggered much intrigue over whether Verstappen indeed Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes pulled off track with a mechanical issue, prompting most of the forerunners to pit again. While Piastri and Norris surged clear at the restart amid a 6-lap dash to the flag, Verstappen found himself passed by Charles Leclerc, their drivers to hand the position back. And there was then another collision between the pair, which Verstappen subsequently received a 10-second time penalty, but there was no such drama ahead of Piastri, who sealed his fifth victory of the season ahead of McLaren teammate Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc sealed the final spot on the podium for Ferrari in third, while Russell claimed fourth, and Nico Hülkenberg with an eye-catching feat for Sauber after starting back from 15 on the grid. That's amazing. Lewis Hamilton followed his 6th for Ferrari, while Isaac Alger added to Racing Selbus 7th, with Pierre Gasly claimed 8th for Alpine. Fernando Alonso finally scored his maiden point of the campaign in P9 for Aston Martin, while Max Verstappen's penalty dropped him to 10th position to finish P10. Liam Lawson just missed out on points in an eventful afternoon for the Racing Bull driver, with Gabriel Bartoletto following in P12 for of Sabah ahead of Red Bull's Yuki Tsunoda in P13. Williams Carlos Sainz had a tough race in P14 while Franco Colapinto crossed the line for Alpines. Whatever it is that made Red Bull to drop what's his name for Yuki Tsunoda, maybe they'll have to go and review that particular decision again. Well, let's run you through the top 10 as it ends right now. Oscar Piastri for Mercedes finished in first position with the maximum 25 points, completing the 66 laps. Lando Norris McLaren made it 1 and 2, completing also the 66 laps, finishing second with 18 points. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari finished the lap 66 laps and finished with 15 points. George Russell of Mercedes also got 12 points. And Nico Hülkenberg, he started the race in 15th and he finished 5th. What a fantastic race he had with 10 points. Lewis Hamilton of Ferrari also finished the 66 laps, finished with 8 points in 6th position. There was also Racing Bull, Alpines, Aston Martin, Red Bull, all of them completing the top 10. That is how it ended in the Spanish Grand Prix that we also saw over the weekend.
Just move on up. We move on up. Move on up.
In an eventful night that saw Kano One Cup presenting the newly refurbished and rebranded CAF Champions League trophy to Pyramid FC as they clinched their maiden Total Energies CAF Champions League with a 2-1 victory over South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns in a fantastic second leg final at the 30th of June Air Defense Stadium in Cairo. Having drawn the first leg 1-1 in Pretoria, the Egyptian side secured a 3-2 aggregate win, becoming the 4th different Egyptian club to win Africa's most prestigious club competition, joining Al Ahly, Zamalek and Ismail in a feat unmatched by any other nation. Pyramid began with a purpose in front of a passionate home crowd, taking the league in the 23rd minute through their prolific striker Fiston Mayele, who rifled a low shot into the far corner after a clever move on the right side. The goal marked his 9th in the competition and confirmed his status as one of the key figures in the Pyramid historical run. The home side doubled their lead after the restart when defender Ahmed Sami rose highest to Edo Mohamed Shibi's cross in the 56th minute, sending the Cairo crowd into frenzy. Despite trailing by 2 goals, Mamelodi Sundowns showed resilience. Ishak Renas pulled one back for the South African champions in the 75th minute with a composed finish from close range, setting up a tense final. Miguel Cardoso's side pushed forward relentlessly in the final with Paul Shanalule and Lebo Motimba both having effort blocking a traffic close trench that saw the 10 minutes of added time. However, Pyramid FM, thanks in large part to the heroics of goalkeeper Ahmed El Shenawi, you know that name, right? And a composed defensive performance. Well, I love this one. I love this story. I love the fact that we have a new winner, a club that is less than 10 years old, about 10 years old. Maybe, just maybe, Remo Stars can do the impossible.
Yeah, it's possible. Nothing is impossible, really. This also goes to say that, with time as well as consistency, you'd also get your desired result.
Well, we've come to the end of the show today. Continues tomorrow. Thank you so much for everyone that came through the calls and all of the messages. Thank you.
Very, very quickly, on behalf of Mr. Victor, just want to wish a quick birthday shout out as well to Mr. Onyi. God bless you. Happy birthday to you, sir. And may you also continue to prosper. Thank you so much.
Amen. Okay, stay safe. Next up is Life is Good with Cordelia Okwe on Mainland 98.3 FM. Thank you so much, Agbatomi, for coming through as usual.
It's a pleasure.
My name is Okwe. Once again, we extend our deepest condolence to the government and the people of Kano State, and most especially the families of those 22 people that lost their lives in that ill-fated accident, coming from the just concluded National Sport Festival and going all the way back home, and then unfortunate incident that happened. My name is Okpeyemi Akiode. They call me the host with the most. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m., same station. Just put that Mainland 98.3 FM back for now.